After some time, I again forgot the dangers of my past voyages. I was still young and strong, so I wanted to travel once more. I bought the best goods from Baghdad, took them to Balzora, and set out on a ship with other merchants. We visited many ports and earned good profit. But one day, while sailing in the open sea, a terrible wind blew for many days and carried us far from our path. Finally, the storm pushed us into the harbor of a strange island. Our captain looked very worried. He said, "I wish we had not come here. This island is full of hairy dwarfs. They attack ships in huge numbers. They are small but countless, and if we harm even one, all of them will kill us." We were afraid, and soon we saw the captain was right. A vast crowd of small creatures, not more than 2 feet tall, covered with reddish hair, came rushing towards us. They jumped into the sea, swam quickly, and climbed our ship with great speed. They chattered in a strange language we could not understand. We were helpless and could not fight them. They took control of the ship, raised the sails, and steered it to another island. There, they forced us off the ship and left us stranded, then sailed away. We were now stuck on a place feared by all sailors. We walked inland, eating fruits and herbs to stay alive. After some time, we saw what looked like a beautiful palace. But when we went closer, it was not a palace, but a strong stone castle. We pushed open the heavy doors and entered the courtyard. Inside the great hall, a horrible sight froze us with fear. On one side lay a huge pile of human bones. On the other side were spits for roasting meat. While we were trembling, the sun went down, and suddenly the door burst open. A giant entered the hall. He was as tall as a palm tree, black as night, with one burning eye in the middle of his forehead. His teeth were long and sharp. His lips hung down to his chest. His ears were like elephant's ears, and his nails were like claws of a bird. We fainted from fear. When we woke up, the giant was looking at us with his single eye. He grabbed me by the neck, turned me around, and dropped me, thinking I was too thin. He did the same with the others until he came to our captain. Finding him fat, the giant put him on a spit and roasted him over a fire. After eating, the giant lay down to sleep, snoring like thunder. We spent the night in horror. In the morning, he went out and left us inside. We cried and despaired, but could not think of a plan. That night he returned, roasted another man, and slept again. Some of my companions thought of throwing themselves into the sea rather than wait to be eaten. But I had an idea. I told them, "Let us make rafts from driftwood. If we succeed in escaping, we can wait for a ship. If we fail, we still have more chance on rafts than staying here." We agreed and built several rafts. That night the giant came back, ate another man, and fell asleep. Then, while he snored, I and 9 others heated spits in the fire and thrust them all at once into his eye. The giant screamed and stumbled about, blind and furious, but we ran to corners and hid. At last he found the door and rushed outside, roaring. We quickly left the castle and waited near our rafts. In the morning, we saw the blind giant returning, this time with 2 more giants as big as him and many others following. We hurried to our rafts and pushed into the sea. The giants tore huge rocks from the cliffs and threw them at us. Most of the rafts were smashed, and their crews drowned. Only my raft with 2 others survived, and we rowed with all our strength until we reached the open sea. The next day, we reached another island. At first, it seemed peaceful. We ate fruits and rested. Suddenly, a huge snake appeared. Before one of my companions could escape, it crushed him in its coils and swallowed him. My other companion and I ran to a tall tree. The snake came at night, found my friend, and swallowed him too. I was left alone. That night, the snake came again, circling my shelter, trying to get in. Terrified, I gathered wood, thorns and reeds, and built a strong fence around myself at the foot of the tree. I thought I would die, but the fence held. At dawn, the snake went away, leaving me half dead with fear. I staggered down to the shore, thinking it was better to die in the sea than face another night like that. Then, by great luck, I saw a ship passing. I waved my turban and shouted. The sailors saw me and sent a boat to rescue me. On board, they gave me food and clothes, for I was weak and in rags. Later, the captain asked me to sell goods for a dead merchant. When the clerk asked whose name to write, the captain said, Sindbad the sailor. I was shocked. I looked closely and recognized the captain of the ship from my second voyage. He thought I had died long ago. I said, Captain, I am that Sindbad. You left me on an island by mistake. At first, he did not believe me, but when he looked carefully, he was convinced and was very glad. He gave me my goods and the profits he had made with them. On our way back, I gathered many treasures, spices, and strange things. I even saw a tortoise as big as a house and other strange animals. Finally, we reached Balzora, and I returned home to Baghdad with more wealth than ever before. I shared generously with the poor and bought more land. Thus ended my third voyage. After finished my story, I gave Sindbad another 100 sequins. The guests left, and the next day, when they gathered again, I continued my tale.